Good morning, and welcome to another episode of Pre-Workout Chat. My name is Rob Wright, and today is Tuesday, June 11th, 2024. Before we get into this video, I would like to start by apologizing. In some prior videos, I had stated that I was going to work out. Even yesterday, I thought I was going to work out, but I ended up having an issue with time, and I was dealing with the sickness from last week. It would be like Saturday. I thought I was going to work out, and then I ended up sleeping most of the day. I didn't mention that I was having issues sleeping when it came down to the COVID that I probably had. So yeah, I was dealing with it. I don't work out. I don't like working out when I'm sick. I don't try to, push it because I don't want to do anything involving the lungs, especially if it could be COVID, because you guys know what COVID does. So I'm not trying to test my luck. My lungs didn't even really feel on par during that time. But today I was able to get a good night's sleep. I end up waking up early. I actually just got through recording a full body update. And so I still need to edit that video. And I'm going to do like a side-by-side comparison compared to when I last did a body update. I need to start making sure that I'm doing like the same poses and stuff in each video. That way it keeps it consistent. But yeah, kind of expect those to happen on like a monthly basis. I may do like a short where I do like a small body update and weigh in bi-weekly, but the main video, the longer format, that'll be like on a monthly basis where I do like all of the different poses and stuff like that. Which, by the way, I need to look up some more poses. And so yeah, that'll be what I do on a monthly basis, and I'll do like a weigh-in like every 2 weeks. There we go. But anyway, I am going to be working out today. This will be really my first workout in 1.5 weeks, I would say. Which is not good. I'm kind of estimating that I'll probably have maybe a slight loss in my strength, so I'm not sure if I'll be able to increase the plates this week, but we'll see. Anyway, one second, I need to top this. Anyway, for this episode of Pre-Workout Chat, I just wanted to keep it short, and I just wanted to talk about the channel. And I haven't seen this in the comments or anything. Nobody has really spoken directly to me because I do have some relatives who are subscribed to the channel. Nobody really said anything, but it's like I get this feeling when I'm doing this that people are. And again, this is nobody said anything, but this is just how I feel. I feel like people are expecting me to do some type of Biggest Loser type of show where you just see me losing a lot of weight each week and stuff like that. And to be honest, when I first started doing this recording and stuff like that, that's the type of angle that I was kind of inspired by, because when I saw like some videos online where I saw somebody doing weight loss transformation, they were always losing like a lot of weight. I saw stuff like David Goggins, and those are the type of things that those are the type of materials that I saw online that kind of really made me want to like do like a weight loss transformation documentary, you can say, because that's what ultimately these videos are about. They're documenting my weight loss progress while also giving me a chance to say what's on my mind. And that's originally how this was going to start out. But when I started to, and that's why originally you saw the diet was real low. Like I had to diet like around 1,500 calories or less. I was doing keto. I was, I had it set for me to do way more cardio than what I'm doing right now. And ultimately speaking, I was trying to work out in a way where I burn more calories. So I was trying to lose like 5 pounds a week. That's really what I was 4 to 5 pounds. That's really what I was trying to aim for. Now, of course, I didn't have the discipline to do something like that, nor did I really have the drive to do something like that. And so, as I was working out and really just coming close to just crashing, well, actually, I did crash, but as I was going through my first crash while documenting everything, one thing that I started to enjoy, which was a first in my life, was actually lifting the weights. And that's what really kept me going was lifting the weights, being in the gym, and I got to enjoy the feelings of my muscles um, becoming more conditioned to recover faster than what they used to. I was enjoying, excuse me, I still got a little bit of, I'm still dealing with the COVID a little bit, but it's a lot better than last week. But anyway, with my muscles, I got to enjoy the weight increasing every week. Before, for example, with the bench press, before when I was doing the bench press, I was basically just using the bar, which weighed about 50 pounds, and 5 pounds on each side. So I was only doing like 60 pounds for my bench press. And then eventually it got to the point where with my bench press, I'm pretty much around, I think I'm around 100 or 110 pounds. So to see me regain my strength because I've done like chest press machines at the gyms before, and I've done well over 120 pounds and stuff while training. I never saw how heavy I can go, but I do remember back when I was in college and attending Army ROTC, when I did like an actual bench press, and when I used that machine, I know I had got well over like 150 pounds. So to see myself slowly regaining the strength that I used to have, that was more inspiring to me than watching the weight go up and down on the scale. And so eventually, what I started to do was I started to increase my calories so that I could have a better recovery. I started making sure that I was taking my creatine, and I even started to consider taking additional supplements. The supplements that Coach Greg Doucet sells on his Harder Than Last Time website, which is the GOT Max, because I wanted to use that to help improve my endurance, and so that I could use that so that I could work out longer, and I can definitely do the cardio a whole lot better. And I wanted to take the turkesterone, which is an ecdy steroid, but it's not a normal steroid. It's a steroid that you find in plants. But that too would help me recover faster. It would help me push myself more in the gym. And from what I've seen from other ecdy steroids, while you don't get the exact steroid effect, which is why they're legal and stuff like that, the an ecdy steroid comes from plants, and I think some of them you get them out of insects, but so it's a natural forming compound that you can find in nature. So it doesn't give the exact effect of steroids, but it gets there. It's probably like only 1/3 of the efficiency of an actual steroid. So that's why I was considering that, because again, I wanted to be able to recover more. I wanted to be able to basically take my muscles to when I'm working out, take everything pretty much close to failure, so that I could recover faster and just do it all again. Um, and so that's really what I was looking to do, and it's what I'm still considering to do. Um, and so it just came to a point where my calories, instead of being like 1,500 calories, now my calories is like 2,200 a day. In the beginning, I was considering doing like basically a 42-hour fast. So I was basically going to eat every other day, and I was so essentially only eating essentially 4 days out of the week. Yeah, so that's how I was going to like do all that rapid weight loss, and I thought people would enjoy seeing that type of thing and be more inspired by that, but it just wasn't for me. So eventually, this channel became more about um, lifting weights and losing the weight at a very slow pace. Um, and that's pretty much where I'm at right now. So yeah, you know, I am still losing the weight. And while it doesn't really show on the scale, for example, when I first started, I think I was around 358 pounds or 359 pounds. And again, I was trying to do intermediate fasting, and I was doing the keto diet. And then, so I had pretty much went down to like about 347, right? Pretty much within like the first 1 or 2 weeks that I started that keto. But again, what I came to understand was that was just water. So the water was just pretty much just going down. Um, and then it went back up, right? So it went from 347 all the way back up to 355. And then I kind of like started getting depressed when I saw the scale, because I'm going like, what happened to all my work? Like, I saw everything go down. And the crazy part is that I've been through stuff like this before, but it still has the same effect. So you can still be knowledgeable about things, but you're still human, and you're still going to go through the emotions that come with it. So even if you know that yes, it's the water fluctuation, you shouldn't get too happy. You still will get happy when you see that you started working out and you started dieting, and you see the scale went down like 10 pounds. And then when you see the scale go back up, you're going to feel like a little bit of depression from that and stuff like that. You're going to feel a little bit of sadness from that. And so it hit me, and it didn't hit me in a good way. And I end up crashing. Like, I called myself doing a carb reload, and I just ended up just pigging out on food and stuff like that. And so that's why I had my first crash. And then it took like 2 weeks before I got back on the ball again, and my program started to slowly change. Instead of trying to do the 48-hour fast, I was pretty much just eating every day. Instead of having 1,500 calories, it went up to 1,800 calories. Then eventually it went up to 2,000 calories, and then eventually it went up to 2,200 calories. Because what was going on was I was slowly becoming more addicted to lifting the weights, right? And so I got upset when I couldn't recover fast enough to get back in the gym so that I could continue to make my gains. Um, and so I eventually it evolved. Some financial things happen, and so I end up having to reincorporate carbs back into my diet. And that's eventually how I got it up to like 2,200 calories per day, was because I started and really the only thing that I incorporated when it came down to the carbs was honey for my tea, uh, spinach, and rice. So these are basically the three main carbs that I'm consuming. And I can always tweak the rice when I want to reduce my calories. So that's pretty much the only thing that I had to reduce. Originally I had reduced my meat consumption. I had reduced it to like half. Um, but I actually have reconsidered that, and so I'm back to eating about 1 pound of ground beef. And instead of doing like half a cup of rice, I now do 1/4 of a cup of rice. So it's in my Excel sheet, but I don't really need to pull that out. I'll do like another video where I just basically do an update on my diet and stuff like that. So I ended up creating a diet that was more conducive for slow weight loss, but it was very conducive for muscle development. And that's where I'm at right now. See, I came to understand that for me, trying to do a rapid weight loss, it's just me repeating the past, right? I have never tried to do a weight loss program that was slow and steady. Every time I tried to lose weight, it was always me trying to lose 3 pounds a week, 4 pounds a week, 5 pounds a week, 7 pounds a week, believe it or not. Um, like one time I was really considering I was developing a hell program because I wanted to reflect the David Goggins way and pretty much just try to lose like 100 pounds in 3 months or something like that. So I have tried to do crazy stuff and they have always ended in failure. And this is the first time where I can say I've been in the gym, maybe not as consistent as I wanted to, but I've always made sure that I've worked out at least 2 times a week, and I have done this consistently for about 2.5 months. About 2.5 months. So this is actually a first for me. I've never actually made it this far out before. I made it past a month, but I've never made it this far before. And so I'm very happy to see that I'm making this progress. Now, again, I understand the scale should be lower than where it is right now, even with my slow and steady approach. The only thing I can think about that is I'm having some water fluctuations. Um, but do I feel as fat as I do before? No. I've looked at my face, and I see some of the thinner parts of my body, becoming a little bit more thinner. My clothes fit a whole lot looser. Now, what I will say is I am building muscle. So I believe I think as a human, right, as a human male, you can build as a natural. You could build somewhere between, I think, 18 to 30 pounds of muscle within a year. Well, I think it's like 18 to 25 pounds of muscle within a year. And I think if you take performance enhancements, drugs, I think if you take stuff like that, I think you can possibly do well over 40 pounds of muscle within a year. And that's only because of your ability to recover. I don't think people really understand that what a steroid does is a steroid allows you to push more. So it's basically allowing you to ignore the pain and the limitations your mind puts on your body so that you don't break yourself. And that's what a steroid allows you to do. It allows you to push more. Because you're pushing more, you're breaking your muscles more. And so your muscles are recover, and it also allows you to recover faster. And that's what a steroid does. It allows you to push more, which allows you to break down your muscles, crack your muscles more. And your muscle, as it's healing up, is filling in those cracks and becoming bigger. And it allows you to recover faster. So that's what a steroid does. So that's why somebody who takes a steroid is able to essentially do 2 times the amount of development as a regular person, maybe even 3 times the amount of development if they have really good genetics. And that's another thing. When it comes down to muscle development, it also comes down to your genetics. Like, for example, I can already tell even when I look at my older brothers and I do have like a good variations for my brothers. I can see where they're at, and I do have one older brother who is very well built, and I can see the limitations of like chest. Like I can see like for me, for my family, we don't really have that good of chest muscles. So my development of my chest is slower compared. But I will say that I do feel my chest, angling itself more and stuff like that. And like I said, what I think is going on is the reason why I'm not seeing as much weight loss is because I believe that I'm consuming enough to almost counterbalance what I'm burning, because again, I'm not working out every day. And I think that's what pretty much kept me around this 358 to 362. So that's pretty much where my weight has been for like these past few weeks. And I think it's been slowly edging up because I think I'm consuming enough to essentially maintain my weight. Even though, because like I said before, on average, I was only really working out 2 times a week. However, because I was pushing myself so much during those times where I was exercising, I think I've been essentially building muscle. So I think over these past 2 to 3 months, I think I've stacked on about 2 pounds of muscle. And that's pretty realistic given the time period. So I think, let's just do a quick calculation. Let's say with my genetics, let's say I could put on naturally. We're just doing arbitrary numbers. Let's say I could put on about 20 pounds of muscle within a year, right? Divide that by 12 months. So theoretically speaking, I should be able to put on like 1.67 pounds of muscle every month. So if I did that over these past 3 months, that's like about 5 pounds of muscle. When I was doing the keto diet and stuff like that, eventually the scale pretty much stayed like around 355 pounds. So if you add on the muscles that I built, that's why I'm at like 360, because right now the scale has just pretty much been staying around 360 pounds. So I believe that I've put on about 5 pounds of muscle over these last 3 months. And that's why the scale is where it's at right now. Now, if I want to, because again, I feel like I'm pretty much not doing enough activity. And that's pretty much what I am going to change. So if you hadn't figured out what I'm about to do, you know it. You know it's coming. You guys know it's coming. Excel sheet. Here we go. So, what I am about to do is I am changing how I'm doing my workouts. And essentially how this is going to work now is I'm going to do cardio in the morning. And I'm pretty much going to do this every day. I'm just sticking around zone 2 cardio. And the reason why I'm sticking around zone 2 cardio is I had got some information based off of Coach Greg Doucet and Renaissance periodization. And pretty much these guys have confirmed that if you are trying to build muscle, you do not want to go past zone 2 cardio. Cardio can be a beautiful tool that you can use to pretty much keep your weight down as you're bulking, but only if you keep it at zone 2 cardio. Zone 2 cardio will also promote muscle recovery. But if you go past zone 2 cardio, like let's say you go to zone 3 or God forbid zone 4 cardio, and basically when it comes to the cardio zone, it's basically your heart rate. I believe for me, zone 2 cardio is basically staying under 130 beats per minute. So as long as I stay like under 130 beats per minute, I should be like around zone 2, zone 3. Matter of fact, let's. Okay, so here is a chart for the different cardio zones. So this is basically light. This isn't a good. Okay, here we go. So this is zone 2. So basically 60 to 70% max heart rate. And even you can see on this chart that zone two is good for building an aerobic base, fat burning, and sustainable for long periods of time. And essentially, what that means is that if you're doing like zone 2 cardio, you should be able to um, you should be able to talk. You should be able to function, maybe even operate your phone more. Uh, and that's where you should be at for zone 2. Let's see, what is my max heart rate? Let's see if this one works. All right, so your max heart rate should be 220 beats per minute minus your age. I am 34 years old. So it says here my max heart rate should be 186. And if we go back to zone 2 cardio, 60 to 70%. So 0.60 times 186. So zone 2 for me should start at about 111 beats per minute. 186 times 0.70. And yeah, so it should go no higher than 130 beats per minute. So 111 to 130 beats per minute for me is my zone 2 cardio, which coincidentally is usually where I am at when I'm doing, most of my exercising. So that's what I'm going to be doing. Because essentially what I feel like, again, I feel like before, because if we do like a measurement, I was on average doing about 3 workouts a week. I was working out. I was doing upper body on Saturday, lower body on Sunday, and then at some point during the week, I did like either cardio or I did like a full body workout, and that's essentially what I was doing. Um, and on average, each workout I was burning approximately 600 to 800 calories. So if we're looking at it, if we're looking at it, um, let's see. Let's say I was only doing 3 lifts a week, and then say I was doing like no cardio. But I was consuming 2,200 calories. So even then, my weight loss should have still been like around like 2.7, at least. So basically 2 pounds a week is what I still should have been burning off. So maybe I'm doing an improper calculation with my diet. Um, so how can I? Obviously, I need to also include muscle development in this. There we go. Okay, yeah. So it looked like I put that into consideration the last time I updated this sheet. So I do have 20 pounds divided by 52 weeks in a year. So I am calculating what's that? So I am calculating that I'm gaining about 0.38 pounds of muscle every week, which again is very realistic. Maybe I'm building more muscle than that. So if you look at this 2.7, so that's 232. So maybe in reality, let's say I'm not measuring my calories correctly. So then my weight loss would be about 1.52 pounds. So I think when we're looking at this, I think I think if you average out my calories, like obviously I maybe it's because of sometimes I would eat like chocolate peanuts, and sometimes it's like for my snacks I would sometimes eat the chocolate covered peanuts, and sometimes I would have like maybe like a spoonful of peanut butter. Obviously, and then also when it came down to the butter, I was probably using too much butter because I was just estimating the amount that I was using. So obviously between the butter, the peanut butter and the chocolate covered peanuts, these were causing some caloric variations with my diet and pretty much just overall reducing my weight loss down to only about maybe about a pound a week. And I think that pound a week combined with some water fluctuations plus adding like 0.4 pounds of muscle every week, 0.4 pounds of muscle every week. I think that's what created this essential like non-weight loss. I've been gaining muscle and I've just been slowly losing the fat, and that's pretty much while I'm still like around 360 pounds. Um, but yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. I can see that now. So what I will be doing is I will eliminate the chocolate covered peanuts. That's essentially throwing off this diet. I'll also not buy any more peanut butter. That's also throwing off this diet. Yeah, so I'm gonna get rid of the peanut butter and I'm gonna get rid of the chocolate covered nuts, and that should put me back on track to essentially lose about 2 pounds per week. Uh, but yeah, essentially, I am going to be trying to go for hitting the upper body and the lower body 3 times a week each on separate days. Essentially, when I get off of work is when I do these workouts. That way, I have enough time. I don't like, even though I would prefer to lift weights in the morning. Uh, I just sometimes I will run out of time, and I prefer to take my time when I am lifting weights. Really enjoy myself, really enjoy the moment that I'm in. So that's why I lift my weights when I get off of work, and it's a good way to de-stress. It's a good way to de-stress. But yeah, but in the morning though, since I don't have to worry about time too much, and I just do the cardio, I could just hammer out like 30 minutes of cardio, 45 minutes of cardio. I can just hammer that out in the morning. I'm just doing zone 2, and I should have like really no issues. And so this is what I'm going to be moving towards. So my diet should get cleaned up if I eliminate the peanuts and the peanut butter. That's what basically is reducing my weight loss. I do, again, like I said, I do feel like I've been losing the weight. Obviously, my body is going to cling to some of the water a little bit more as it gets used to the new weight. But it's been at a greatly reduced rate because of the peanut butter and the chocolate peanuts. So that's what I'm going to eliminate. We are now trying to go for lifting weights 6 times a week, and we're going to be doing cardio 6 times a week, and that's probably like shooting a little bit too high. 600 calorie doing the cardio should be realistic, and 600 calories, even though I burn more lifting weights, 600 calories burning lifting weights should be realistic too. So theoretically, I should be able to burn like 4.2 pounds of muscle. 4.2 pounds of fat per week. So I should average out anywhere between like 3 to 4 pounds in the beginning. So we'll see. We'll see. We'll look at the next weigh in about 2 weeks. So around the 24th is when we'll do like another weigh in, and we should get an idea about how effective the training routine is going to be and the diet is going to be. But like I said before, I'm not all too concerned about losing a rapid amount of weight every week. That's how I was before. It's not how I am now. Um, now what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get to a point where, I guess, just to make it formal, my goal now is to build muscle and create an environment that is conducive for building muscle while at the same time trying to lose 1 to 2 pounds of fat per week. That's my goal. I know it's not going to be amazing and as cool as the people who are losing 5 pounds a week. Um, and while I can go down that route, I just it's just not interesting to me. It doesn't inspire me to keep going, and it has so many ups and downs that it's just going to pretty much put me at a point where I end up self sabotaging somehow. So, yeah. So this is pretty much what I'm going to be doing from now on. Cardio in the morning and lifting weights in the evening, and we're gonna give this a go. We're gonna give this a try, um, and really whether we could stick to this schedule of lifting weights upper one day, lower one day, upper one day, lower one day, with only like 1 day of rest on Saturday. Um, Whether we could do this will depend on my ability to recover. Um, Now to help with that, um, I am I should have enough. I have to again review my finances again, but this time I should have enough to get the terkesterone and the GO2 max. So those are going to be the supplements that I get. It'll probably take a week before it arrives in the mail. But yeah, that is what I am going to that's what I'm going to try to get. I'm going to try to get that, and that should help with the recovery. And I do believe that terkesterone will allow me to do this type of schedule a whole lot easier. The only thing that I am anticipating as a result of the terkesterone is because it will allow me to basically push myself more and recover faster. I will probably end up having to increase the calories to 2,400 just so I could get an adequate so that way I could get more protein to allow me to um, build more muscle and stuff like that. So that'll be like the only downside to the terkesterone is that it's probably going to make me hungrier. Um, and it may mess with my sleep. That'll probably be the only my only anticipated downside of the terkesterone. I don't think I'll have any issues with the GO2 max, and yeah. So we'll see where this goes. But yeah, that's just a video that I wanted to make. I got some cardio that I got to do, and then I got to get ready for work. And yeah, that's essentially where we're going. So I hope nobody has any misunderstandings about this channel. This is not a rapid weight loss channel. In the beginning, that's what I intended it to be. But eventually, I grew to enjoy lifting weights and getting stronger. So that's pretty much where I'm at, and that's what this channel has become. This channel has become more about lifting weights and gaining muscle, and the secondary function of the channel is like fat loss. So that's pretty much how this is going. ultimately, this is still a channel that's documenting my fitness journey, right? So it's documenting me losing the weight, me gaining the muscle, it's documenting the evolution of like my thinking and stuff like that, where my mind is. So it will continue to be that, and that's how the channel is just always going to be. Oh yeah, one thing I am trying to do is I am trying to uh, this is very hard for me, but I am trying to go on walks during my lunch breaks while I'm at work. It's just that it's really hard for me to do that. I wish it wasn't like that, but it's kind of hard for me to uh, want to get ready. Walk around for during lunch. I'm always end up being so busy that that never really happens, and I'm not really in a walk friendly area for where my job is. Um, so yeah, that's why I'm not too prone to go on walks during my lunch break. But it is something that I am trying to gear myself to. And that's just so I could get out of the seat and not be sitting down all day. So yeah, that may increase my caloric burn. We'll see. Again, once my office does plan on moving. So if it was to change location, that would be even better. But yeah, so there's nothing else for me to say. I did do a decent amount of recordings this morning, and I think there's a clear understanding of what this channel has evolved to, and we'll see how this channel continues to progress going down the line. But anyway, I hope you guys got something from this. I hope this behind the scenes of my fitness journey is enlightening, and that you're able to take something from that will help you to um, do well on your own journey. So with that, I just want to, give you guys the normal play. Stay on the path.